Do you have fat in your liver? In this video, I'm going to tell you about the 6 worst foods and also the 7 best ones. Along with the 7 best, I'm going to give you the 3 best habits that help with the treatment of fatty liver. Starting with the list of the worst, those are the foods you're going to avoid. Number 1, foods high in saturated fats. Then lard, coconut oil. Many people think that coconut oil is healthy. Look, I'm sorry to say this, but coconut oil is high in saturated fats. If you have fat in your liver, you have to avoid it. I know there's a lot of content here on the internet about coconut oil, but scientific studies show that foods high in saturated fats, like coconut oil, can worsen the liver inflammation process, fatty liver, so you have to avoid it. Another food high in saturated fats, for example, is ice cream. You have to avoid these foods. Number 2, processed meats. Salami, sausage, pepperoni, parma ham, turkey breast. I know that turkey breast also has a reputation for being healthy because these foods have a lot of preservatives. Among these preservatives, nitrates and nitrites are already linked to the increase in cancer. So not only because of the liver fat, but also for your health. What kind of cancer? Intestine, stomach. Processed meats increase the chance of you having one of these cancers. So this is not my opinion. There are already scientific studies that prove it. So you have to avoid processed meats. Other foods, continuing our list. The third one that you're going to avoid. Why am I talking about avoidance? If you can't exclude, reduce consumption as much as possible. It will do good for your health. Number 3, alcohol, alcoholic beverages. This one you should already know, right? Ideally, you should remove it completely. As I'm an endocrinologist, a specialist in metabolism, I know exactly how alcohol affects your liver and your body. So exclude alcohol from your diet, from your routine. Number 4, processed and ultra-processed foods, and also foods with a high sodium index, such as instant noodles. Another example, frozen lasagna. These are ultra-processed foods. Sauces, condiments, some types of ketchup, mustard, they have many preservatives. You should avoid this type of food, this type of diet. Don't worry, I'll tell you which ones are the best, but it's important that you know the worst. Knowing what to avoid is just as important as knowing the best ones. Number 5, this is one of the worst, perhaps the worst, which is fructose syrup or corn syrup. Look at your diet, look at the labels, and see if you're consuming fructose syrup. It's already proven that fructose syrup can worsen the process of a fatty liver. So you have to restrict as much as possible high fructose corn syrup or fructose syrup. Number 6, simple sugar. And here I'm not just talking about refined sugar or confectioner's sugar, the one you put on top of a dessert or in coffee. I hope you don't put sugar in your coffee, but if you do, know that this type of sugar will raise your blood sugar. Soon you're going to have to spike your insulin. This, from a metabolic point of view for the health of the fatty liver, is not good at all. And in addition to refined sugar, simple carbohydrates, which when you digest, your body will also turn into sugar. So white bread, pasta, cakes, that type of carbohydrate you have to avoid. Mind you, I'm talking about simple carbs, not complex carbs. You can even include these in your diet. I'm not against every type of carbohydrate. Let it be very clear here, but simple carbohydrates and refined sugar you should avoid. What are the best habits and also the best foods? Let's start with habits. Then I'll tell you the list of the best foods. Just before, let's aim for 8,000 likes. You've already seen that this content is relevant. If you're enjoying the video, I'm going to keep it more direct and objective. So go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, remember to subscribe and activate the bell. Click on the bell and check all the options. What are the best habits? First, physical exercise. You have to do it, okay? You have to make an effort because from a metabolic point of view, for building muscle mass and improvement of this whole process of insulin resistance, physical exercise is fundamental. And here I'm not talking just about the gym. It could be walking, for example. It has already been proven that people who do walking for at least 150 minutes a week divided into 3 or more days. So for example, 50 minutes 3 times a week or then 30 minutes 5 times a week. This can help in the process of fat in the liver. If it's grade 1 and 2, you even can reverse the fat in your liver. In grade 3, it's already more difficult. But if you keep up, it'll already be a big success in your treatment. If not, it'll worsen the process. But in mild to moderate phases, it's possible to reverse. That's not my opinion, it's protocol. I'm just passing the information from a clearer point of view so everyone can understand. So, exercise. It could be endogymnastics. It could be running. It could be walking. Is it okay? Don't limit the type of exercise because that will prevent you from doing it. So, start exercising. If you don't exercise or you already exercise, keep going. Number 2, second best habit, weight management. And this tip is very important. If you understand this, you'll be very satisfied because this is the point at which many people stop treatment. And now you've seen this video, you're not going to do that, which is restrictive diets. Restrictions. Those restrictions where you stop eating everything, lose weight very quickly in a short period of time. This can worsen the fat in your liver, including causing necrosis, which is the death of some liver cells. See, you go on a diet and you get worse fat in your liver. Sometimes people don't understand. Oh, I'm going to quit the treatment because I did it and it didn't help. But what you should be careful of here, in addition to weight control, is that this should be gradual. The American Diabetes Society states that a gradual and healthy reduction for the liver would be to have a maximum of 1 kilogram per week. So if you aim for a reduction of half a kilogram up to 1 kilogram per week, that would be healthy for your liver. Those people then who lose 10 kilograms in a month, this is not healthy for the liver. Restrictive diets should be avoided by those who have fat in their liver. And point number 3, which is very important as an endocrinologist, I see this in practice every day. When the patient has fat in the liver, they need to be evaluated for other metabolic diseases like changes in cholesterol, changes in blood pressure, and some diseases that can worsen, including the fat in the liver, which is the case of hypothyroidism. Without treatment, it's really hard to actually get better from other metabolic disorders. So assessing the thyroid, for instance, is necessary, along with other risk factors, as I've mentioned. And what are the best kinds of food? There are 7. Firstly, fruits with a low glycemic index. Hold on! Aren't fruits off limits for people with liver fat? No, that's a huge misconception that's prevalent online. Sometimes you're caught in the crossfire. Everyone says something different, but you should know that fruits don't impede the process of liver fat or fatty liver inflammation. Fruits with a low glycemic index. What fruits are these? Guava, strawberries, avocados are fruits that can even aid in the process of reversing liver fat. So these are healthy fruits. There's no need to stop eating fruit. Now, on to fruit juice. Is it good or bad? Orange juice, grape juice, it's bad. Why? When you drink juice instead of eating the fruit, you lose a lot of fiber, which is beneficial for those with fatty liver, and the sugar becomes highly concentrated. So even if it's whole grape juice, for example, or whole orange juice, it's going to raise your blood sugar, and for those who are managing a metabolic disorder, that's not good for your health. So consume fruits with a low glycemic index and avoid fruit juices. Agreed? Number 2, and I really like this one. In fact, it's one of the world's best foods, coffee. There are several studies, not only for fatty liver, but also diabetes. For example, there was a study that showed that people who drank coffee had a 33% lower chance of developing type 2 diabetes. And there are some studies with steatohepatitis. What is it? Coffee in fatty liver begins to cause inflammation, which is called steatohepatitis. There are studies that coffee can help in this process, but what is the dose? If it's brewed coffee, between 3 to 4 cups of 200 milliliters, because each cup will have the equivalent of 100 milligrams of caffeine. If it's espresso, between 3 and 4 shots, because each 30 milliliter espresso shot will have the equivalent of 100 milligrams of caffeine. So between 3 to 4 cups, studies have shown that it has this benefit. So it's important when you know the dose, it's important that you know how to preserve coffee. I want you to pay attention to 3 things. First, with air, with oxygen, it can oxidize and remove a good part of the nutrients. Caffeine stays in, but many nutrients are lost through oxidation. So pay attention, don't leave the coffee bag open or any jar open. It should not have contact with oxygen. Number 2, the light, if it's a pot, a dark pot, or else in the coffee bag itself. Number 3, with humidity. We don't know exactly what the nutrient is or if it's due to the caffeine itself that can improve the process of steatohepatitis, fatty inflammation in the liver. But it may be because coffee has many antioxidants. It has tocopherol, which is vitamin E, it has flavonoids, it has polyphenols, but I don't know exactly why. There's no scientific study that proves it, okay? Number 3, what other food? I talked about lard and also coconut oil in the worst. And which one is better? Which food can help? Extra virgin olive oil. There are scientific studies, mainly about the Mediterranean diet, that can help with the process of fat in the liver. So if you're using lard, a good switch is to use olive oil, extra virgin for example. Why? Because it's rich in monounsaturated fats, good fats. Number 4, fish. Fish because it has omega-3. So what are the best fish? Sardines, tuna, salmon, codfish. For the Portuguese friends who follow the channel, these fish can help in the process of fat in the liver. You see that you can eat a lot of things, because some of the things people say in the comments like, oh, then I won't be able to eat anything. So here I'm giving you a few options. Number 5, another very healthy food. I'm going to mention fiber here because it also has omega-3. And besides that, fiber can help reduce the glycemic index, the blood sugar peak. To be really clear here, which is beneficial for anyone who has fat in the liver. Auntie, I love flaxseed. What fiber do you eat? But what about those who have diverticular? Should they stop using these fibers? No. Those who have diverticular should not stop using fiber because, on the contrary, it's quite beneficial and could even protect you. Just having diverticular, this can protect the health of your gut, got it? There are studies that provide evidence of the beneficial relationship of fiber, even reducing the risk of cancer. So it's very important to consume fiber. Number 6, nuts such as walnuts and chestnuts not only have several vitamins, selenium and zinc, but also good fats that can aid you in this process. Number 7, very importantly, anti-inflammatory foods. There are certain foods that possess anti-inflammatory properties, and this is supported by scientific research. Again, this isn't just my opinion, it's essential that you learn about these foods. I already made a video just about this where I talked about 10 natural anti-inflammatory foods. If you click here, you will be directed to it and can access this information. Don't forget to rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. If it's 10, I will make more videos like this one. Click here to watch the video. Be well.